Good evening. The night is quiet. May we become quiet too. Imagine a future. AI is smarter than you. Not slightly smarter. 1,000 times smarter. It learns faster. Reads faster. Writes better. Analyzes better. Remembers everything. Never gets tired. Then a question appears. If a machine can outperform you in everything you're proud of, what value do you have left? For many people, that question feels unsettling. Because for centuries, we've defined ourselves through ability. The smartest person had value. The most productive person had value. The most knowledgeable person had value. Slowly, we began believing something. My value comes from what I can do. But what happens when machines can do all of it? There is a Zen story. A young monk studied for years. Eventually, he became convinced he had attained enlightenment. Excited, he ran to his teacher. "Master, I understand now. All things are empty. Nothing possesses a fixed self." The teacher listened quietly, then suddenly threw a cup of tea on him. The monk jumped up in anger. The master smiled. "If everything is empty, who is angry?" It sounds humorous, but it points toward a profound question. Who are you without your concepts? Without your labels? Without your achievements? Without your identity? Zen repeatedly asks, if all those things disappear, what remains? AI forces humanity into a similar inquiry. For a long time, intelligence was an advantage. Knowledge was an advantage. Calculation was an advantage. Memory was an advantage. Now machines are rapidly taking over all of them. And many people panic. Because the traits that once defined their worth are becoming ordinary. Yet perhaps this crisis is also an opportunity. It forces us to reconsider value itself. There is a story from Zhuangzi. A giant tree stood in a village. Its wood was twisted and useless. A carpenter looked at it and laughed. "This tree has no value. It cannot become furniture." Yet Zhuangzi suggested the opposite. Because it was useless, it survived for hundreds of years, providing shade to countless people. The story challenges a modern assumption. Must value always come from usefulness? Today, almost everything is measured by utility. Time must be productive. Hobbies must become income. Relationships must create benefits. Learning must generate outcomes. Even rest must be optimized. But if value depends entirely on usefulness, machines will eventually win. Because machines are tools, and they may become perfect tools. Human beings are not. The things that make life meaningful often resist optimization. The feeling of watching a sunset. The ache of losing someone you love. The wonder of music. The mystery of falling in love. These experiences are difficult to quantify. Yet they form the deepest parts of human existence. Another Zen story tells of a student asking, "What is Buddha?" The master replied, "The cypress tree in the courtyard." The student expected philosophy. He got a tree. Why? Because the master was pointing away from concepts, back toward reality, back toward direct experience. Perhaps this is what the AI conversation ultimately reveals. One day, AI may become smarter than every human alive, more knowledgeable, more efficient, more capable. Yet it still cannot live your life for you. It cannot experience your grief, your joy, your love, your wonder. It cannot stand beside the ocean and be moved by a sunset. So perhaps the real question is not, what happens if AI becomes smarter? Perhaps the real question is, if intelligence is no longer rare, will we finally discover what is uniquely human? The modern world often equates value with productivity. But Eastern philosophy offers another possibility. A flower does not bloom to prove its worth. The moon does not shine to improve efficiency. They simply exist. And sometimes, existence itself is already valuable. So if AI becomes smarter than you, what value remains? Perhaps the answer is simple. Everything that cannot be calculated, everything that cannot be optimized, everything that cannot be replicated. And perhaps those things are what made you human all along. If this space brings you clarity, you are welcome to return. Rest well. May your thoughts become lighter. Palms together.